Hey do folks, Friday morning. Thank you for your comments, likes, welcome new subscribers. Hope you're all well. Gearbox painted yesterday. Hopefully we're going to get that fitted in there today and get some plumbing done. First job I'm going to do though, got a 1/2 inch UNF tap. We're just going to go through all these threads on these flanges, clean them up, just to make it easy to put the bolts in when it's in there. Because I've done it before, I forgot to do it, and they're a bugger to get in. So we'll get that wound in. Just give the threads a good clean up, so when we come to put the bolts in, they go in nice and easily. As you can see, it's surprising amount of crud that is, you know, obviously the paint's gone in there. So we'll chuck it on the floor. We'll give that a clean up. We'll go through. We've got another three left to do. Done the bottom ones there, and then we've got 4 on the front. 8 there done, 4 there done. We've unmasked this, so we've got a nice little bit of bling, contrast against the grey. We've got just a little bit of masking tape around the grease nipple on the shaft. Yeah, that's that off. Come on, right. Still turns nicely. Let's get this now in there. I have put the drop the bolts in on that plate, nuts on the back. Just got to find the plate that sits over the top of that, and we'll get it winched over. It wasn't where I hung it up, it was somewhere completely different, but at least we got it. These are marked, they have got bottom stamped on them. Don't know why, but there we go. So that's sat in there ready. Let's get the crane on the go and winch it over. Well, it's getting closer. Usually come forwards a bit, and we lower it down. Going down, first floor, and 10 seconds. Probably 10 miles away, can we? Away. Cut this way a bit more. Clean out the way. Got caught up. Somewhere there. Keep going down. Keep going down. Sorry, can't see my ugly mug, can you? That's good. We start making some space up there for other jobs that are coming in. All will be revealed when they turn up. One's already on site here at the moment. It needs a good clean. A bit of surgery on the front and possibly some engine work. But we'll get to that another day. I'll try and get this in plumbed up and get it back on its feet, then we can run it up. Let's see what if we've got any leaks or not. Hopefully not. Right, nearly where we got to be. We need to go that way a bit. The inks are off. 2 inches. Nope. I'm going to get a podger and drop in that and lever it back this way. up here and back. Where we gotta go? Oh, I'm up on the drive shaft. Right, let's fold them in. And that's going to line up. We're going to find a couple of bolts to go through the bottom, so at least we know we've got that end in the right place. Right, well, it's sat in there. We got a couple of bolts just dropped in the back. We got the big ones, 2 in the bottom underneath there. So now we need to spend a little bit of time and just start measuring up. Centre of that, centre of that. Make sure we've got a nice through line right the way through from the crank, flywheel, gearbox to the back. And also make sure we're in line that way. So trying to get a straight bar, we take measure and check, check, check. Well, after some very careful measuring, we've measured, got the centre line down there, so we know what it is from the height of the chassis to the centre of that, the height of the chassis to the centre of that, the height of the chassis, sort of marks there so we know exactly where the centre is. We use a bit of 50mm bar to lay across, and managed to get the front, once we've got a bit of thinner bar in there to get a line through. And we have got, excuse me, we've got 88mm, 89mm, 90mm, 88mm. That's pretty damn spot on, within a millimetre or two. I ain't going to get much more than that. We have just got to move it over very slightly because we got, what have we got this side? I've just measured this. We are just clear on there, but this side we are got to come over about 1.5 mm this way. But that's probably the closest I've put one together that's been as close as it's going to be. Right, we just moved the chain and lifted it slightly, but we've got that as close as we're going to get it, within, I'd say, probably 0.5 mm. Just touching on there, and it is just touching on there. That'll have to do. Talk about a bugger to try to get this one on. Surprising I had to go through with a little tiny little file, clean up every thread, but now it is going on. But he was, yeah, couldn't even get it started. So obviously good fit on the splines, which is good. But that's a bit. I will find a bolt and a washer. Then we can perhaps start finding the excuse me, pump brackets and things to go on there. Now we've got this bar in. Right, we fished out the pumps, give them a clean up. Got the plates, the bolts, keyways in there ready. We've got one more union to fit on the back of that. We've got the other one fitted in. Might be able then, we've got the 2 pulleys down here ready. Just need to clean up the holes, ready to go on the shafts, and that's a bit more. Just need to clean the tapered hole up in there so it fits on the shaft nicely. So just use a little burr and just go in and do a bit of a clean up and get rid of all the crap and that, and then a little file down in the keyway, little tiny bit of copper slip on there and slip it onto the shaft. Right, well, we've got the pulleys on there, 2 brand new belts. That's tightened up. Just got to put the little locking tabs over on the nuts on that. Yeah, just got to re-angle one of that fit in there to point the right way and nip him up. Plod knot, we can perhaps put the drive shaft in a minute. That'd be good. Another bit out of the way. Got one refurbished drive shaft here. We've found the bolts here, 5/8 UNF threads. We know we did clean the threads out in there the other day when we did that. Just tried the bolts in that. We know that works. So yeah, so belts are on. Let's get this drive shaft in here now. Right, hopefully I'll wedge the camera up enough you can see, but it is a relatively tight fit to get everything in between all the little nuts and bolts, but those couplings fit in those holes as well as the bolts. So you've got a little flange and socket affair, shall we say. If we can get them in at a fashion. Just got to turn a little bit. Get that lined up. It's kind of going in. There we go. That one's on there. Going together. Oh, right, we need to find a big socket, 24mm, and we can tighten those up. So you've got a little, not a lot of play, but it's enough that you can, if you've got to change the belts, you'll have a little gap, pull the bolts out. You've got probably quarter of an inch, half an inch to be able to get a belt in between, you know, the flanges. Obviously, bulk of the spline here is, you know, taken up for the drive, but you've got that little bit of movement. Obviously, these dampers on here allow for slight, very slight deviation in if there's misalignment. But I say we measured it this morning, we got it pretty damn close, and we'll have a look through in a minute to make sure, you know, visually off the chassis there is a line sort of relatively straight. So I'll go and find a socket for that. Right, we're back with a suitable socket and get these tightened up. And they should pull into that mounting plate, and the actual backs of the rubber bushes, a little sticky outy bit will fit into the holy bit, so it's not just relying on purely the bolt for the drive, it's actually the part of the steel bush is sat in the plate. It's going in. It's hard to believe that there's two bolts either end, effectively taking a, well, when these were new, they were 112 horsepower, I think it was, on the dot 4, which is, you know, for the size of the engine and the size of the tractor, 112 horsepower isn't a huge amount, but I say it's all in the gearing, the ratios of the wheels, reduction hubs that you get your torque and your power, and obviously the weight distribution. You know, it's 75% front, 25% back until you get an implement on there, and then it sort of splits it, makes it approximately 50-50, so you get a good, you know, equal traction. Obviously permanent four-wheel drive on these, unless you take a drive shaft off, then you just have two-wheel drive, but they are permanent four-wheel drive. That one there. That one there. So you've got washers and spring washers on there. Right, we'll double check those a bit later, but it's in there. As for the line, so I've done it before, but looking on the line of the engine block to the chassis, going through the shaft, so that's looking pretty straight to me. So hopefully we got that right that way. And I say we have measured off the centre of that spline to the chassis, so we know we got it right that way. Obviously there's not any significant movement on the engine because it is fixed 4 points. Right, so we've got a few more hydraulic hoses in. We've got the filter housing put in. Obviously cleaned that up the other day. Suction, obviously that pipe there goes to the tank at the front. This one through the filter to the pump. And then you got the pressure pipe coming out, going down to your priority valve for your steering. And then a leak off pipe here, back into that. So obviously still got, tighten those up, but still got that one and the one underneath to do. So we've got the filter housing all bolted in. I'm gonna get this pipe in now, but it's not a lot of space to get in to do it up. It's literally one flat at a time. Well, half a flat nearly, because you've got to turn the span around. But That's the return pipe that comes effectively from the top of the gearbox there. I think I'm going to slacken it off. I haven't quite got me bend right, so I'm going to have to loosen it off and twist it a bit. Right, well, we've got a filter housing dropped in, and one pipe roughly in there, but this one here, I have to make use of the original end, because the new ends, the bend isn't the same, and it just means, because it's a longer swept bend, means that little bit of flexi bit in the middle is a lot shorter, and you ain't got room to play with for that to fit in there. And obviously it's all a bit out of line at the moment, but we've got plenty of wiggle room to make it fit. So you've got to get one in, another one in, because it's all quite rigid. Now, trying to work on this with the cab in place is a nightmare. Hence why I do it this way, where I'm trying to get everything plumbed up, oiled up, run up before the cab goes on. At least you can get in here sensibly to deal with any leaks, if there are any. Hopefully not. One B without crow's foot spanner to get into them awkward, no, that's the wrong way around, awkward places that you can't get to get the spanner on any sense. At least with this, oh god, it's stuck. Typical. Trying to do things one-handed. There we go. Well, you get the gist of it. But yeah, even there. So try to do this with the cab on. Not a hope. Let's go the right way. You got some chance of getting it done up. But we're winning. A bit of a faff of a job. Heading the right way. To finish the day off, we've just had turn up 2 fans to fit into the heater box, because obviously the original ones weren't there. Well, it's a double one because it had aircon. So these are the closest I've been able to find that will fit and do the job. Hopefully the bolt holes, they're pretty close. If not, we'll just make it fit. I have supplied these before. I haven't actually fitted one myself, but they'll do. Saturday morning, just come down here for a couple of hours. A few little oddsies and sodsies, just want to get bolted in. So these back drive shafts, the first bit. We put all these in a little while ago before we put the gearbox in, because it's easy to do it. So we now got to just get and bolt that lot onto there. And when you fish out the front drive shaft, we've got to go up under there. Torch light, there we go. We've got the bottom 2 bolts in on the bottom shaft. The top 2 are in, just need tightening up. Then we can get the top shaft there on and bolted out. The front here, I didn't get round to doing the flange on the front axle. Clean the threads out, so we'll get these done. You see, I did put 2 bolts in up there at the moment for the gearbox mounting, because I had to move it and jiggle it around yesterday, so we can get the other 2 in as well. And I've got the locking tabs there, so just finish cleaning these threads out. Just makes the bolts easier to go in when you're handling that big lump there to get up there. We've got drive shaft on. While we're under there, we've tightened up the belts and done the bolt on the back of the pump, so that one's firm, and the locking bolt, which is down in there, which is a bit of a bugger to get to, because there's not a lot of room. You can't get a socket on the end, the belt's in the way, so it is very much a case of, yeah, kind of going in at that sort of angle and getting the spanner on to tighten it up. So we've got one's that side to do up. Again, he's tightened up. Awkward little bolt down there, locked it off. That's all firm. Happy days. Right, well, we've got the fan box here that goes in the roof of the cab, and we have said new fans, and they will fit in there. Might have to drill a couple of different holes, but certainly one hole there we can get that bolted to, and that'll fit on. But just say, we'll have to do a couple of extra holes this side to make it fit, because that flange is just slightly wider. But as far as fitting in there, it fits a treat compared to the old ones, which are humongous great things and fill that void. But Good choice of part there. Pleased with that. And probably be a lot quieter than the original ones. Try it on the jump pack. Oh, cable come off. What's going to happen? Oh, that's a lot of air. Yeah, just a job. Just crawl back under here, get this pipe on. They're a bit of a bugger to get on because this stuff ain't very flexible. Well, the new version in anyway. So it's on there. We did put the 2 Jubilee clips on first, so just need to tease it up a little bit further on that bit. And we got that back nut there to do up. I need a thinner spanner for that. I fished out some more hydraulic hoses ready to go in there. So that's not for today. It's raining outside. We need some rain, but that'll be a future Dave job. So on the whole, this is starting to take shape quite nicely now. It's starting to look like something it's supposed to be. Soon be wheels going on it. We've got oil coming next week, so we can then fill everything up, gearbox, drop box, back axle, and hopefully we can get it running soon and see what leaks we have or haven't got. Right, folks, well, that's going to do for this one. Hope it's been of interest, something different, all progressing nicely. Please, those fans will fit. Need a little bit of work to make them fit, but they will fit nicely, and there's a lot of wind comes out of them. So yeah, as you can hear, it's raining. It's going to be hot again next week, I think. But yeah, we do need the rain because it's a bit dry here. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching. Hit the old like, subscribe button, drop me a comment. I think I've got back to everybody, as I always say, and appreciate your comments. Yes, it's looking good. And don't know if Massey Penny's coming back. I say she's busy with kids, schools, home, so if she does turn up, happy days. But yeah, she's done it proud here, done a lot of work. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. But anyway, till next time, catch you later.